Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Patria Speaks. Thank you, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. I pray that today was a beautiful day for you. I pray that this Friday has made you do some things outside of the box, moving your greatness and your purpose, doing what you do. If this is your first time tuning into this podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're not new to this, welcome back. Yes, y'all, I am so excited. I know y'all like every time we talk to you, Patria, you're always so excited. Well, I am excited about life right now. I'm excited because things are changing, things are moving, things are just looking ahead. And I just want to spread that light, spread that energy to you as well. Even if you were having a okay day, if you are having a magnificent day, just making sure that energy touches you as well. Now, every day is not always a great day, but every day is a good day because we woke up this morning. We're able to embrace, move forward, look at mistakes for what it is, and just move on from those things. And just be grateful that we woke up this morning because, like we all say, there was those that didn't wake up this morning. So be grateful. So I'm excited because I'm able to speak to y'all, encourage y'all through this whole entire change, this waiting season, this waiting period, this pandemic that we're going through right now as a whole nation, So, every now and then I want to talk to you guys because that's a way of me being able to get my little therapy on as well, and also to do what I do and work in my purpose, and that's serving the people, and that's encouraging them and loving on you guys and praying with you guys and speaking a word in your life of love and life and light as well. So yes, as y'all know, if this is your first time tuning in, I like to give updates about the culture, the community, and the nation as a whole. Also, I definitely speak a word into your life. Definitely have something for you to think about. Thank you for something to give you a tool on moving forward in your purpose, your will, and your greatness. And yes, I am a woman of God. So yes, I do speak of God a lot because that is my Lord and Savior. And I speak the word just to make sure that gets in tune in your life so that you can become greater and work in his purpose that he has ordained for your life. I believe everyone here on this earth has a purpose. So, without further ado, let's give some updates. So, I just want to give an update because I am in a season of looking for a home. And I am in the business of looking for a home, also fixing my credit, things like that, just moving forward and seeking some things too. So I decided the month of May that I was going to go ahead and step out on faith and go ahead and start looking for a place to live because I've been roommating. I decided to downsize for a year. My year is coming up, so I decided to actually start looking for a place to stay because now all of my business is expanding and it's moving forward. So there are certain things that I want to do in my home first before I go out and buy office space, blah, blah, blah. But what I want you guys to know is that there are people out here who are hungry for money. They're literally hungry for money. And that's not to shame anybody. There's not to speak down upon anybody, but be aware of the things that are happening. Everybody is on crunch time. They're in their waiting period. Some people have lost, some people have gained in this season. So sometimes people do things to drastic measures to get drastic things done. And I understand that. Trust me, I'm a woman who is definitely a giver. I give my time, I give my money, I give my heart, I give everything. And if you need it, I'm definitely going to do that. But understand this, there are scammers and schemers out here. So please get into detail with certain things. Ask questions, because one thing about a scammer, they like to fast talk. They like to talk over you. They like to start saying things. Ooh. I want you to understand that people are out here scamming. So ask as many questions. Hear their voice. Speak to them. Understand what they're saying. And don't do too many transactions on Cash App. Okay? Cash App is being scammed and schemed. And it is definitely not a good look. Okay? So I really don't encourage people to use Cash App and Zelle and all those, because people know how to get your information. Okay? Speaking of scamming, I'm sorry, y'all. This is an update for the community. And this is a sad thing. Sad thing. So, if you guys don't know, his name is Mo. I don't know if anybody watches Love and Hip Hop, but you probably heard of her. Carly Red. She was engaged to a man named Mo. I don't know his last name. I'm going to give that to y'all. Y'all look it up. Just type in Carly Red, estranged husband or estranged fiance. You'll pull it up. But I got an update for y'all. This man has a trucking company, right? He has a trucking company. And he decided that he wanted to do the loans, the Paycheck Protection Program. And if you listen to maybe a couple of episodes before this one, I talked about the PPP loan for you guys, that you can go out if you're a small business owner and, you've been hit by the COVID-19 and you're not able to, pay your employees or pay your utilities, or, you're not making an income and that was your source of income. You can go ahead and file for the PPP loan, which is the Paycheck Protection Program. So they're giving out loans. They're running out of money, but still put your application in, because they're frequently giving out money. Once they get more money from the government, they're able to assist those people. But this man had went out and got the loan for over $2 million. Okay? Over $2 million. He requested for over $3 million, but they went ahead because he has a very good franchise. He has a trucking company, and with a trucking company, they're the ones who actually go out and supply us with these things. So they're probably thinking, we need them. He's a transport system. We need transportation to get our products here and there. So of course we'll give him $2 million. We don't want him to lose out on his business. Great idea. They end up giving him the money. This fool goes out and buys him a Rolex watch. He buys him a Rolls Royce, a car, and other jewelry and stuff like that within days that you purchased, that they went ahead and gave you the money. Okay? Now, the government is watching you. Not only because they gave you $2 million, and this is not to shade any other type of race, because that's not what I do on this podcast, but we just want to face reality. We want to face factual information. I love all races, black, brown, white, yellow, girls, men, females, women of God, men of God. I love you all. But when the society that we live in, when it comes to black people, they are watching every single move we make, especially when they are giving us something. So for you to go out, as soon as you got this money, got this loan, for you to go out and buy you watches and cars and things like that, dude, you got to be smarter than that. But you got to also understand his history. But we're not going to talk about him. I pray for that young man. I pray that this is not something that he went out and did. I pray that he be able to clear that money. But that, my dude, was definitely not a smart move, because there's so many Americans that are losing from their business right now. And for you to be blessed with $2 million and able to do that and get what you need for your company, and you used it in a way way that it could have fed other families and feed other families, that's really down and dirty, if that's true. So I pray that it's not true. I pray that you was able to say, look, I had this money before. I was already going to get me a watch, a car, whatever. I didn't use this money. I pray that he be able to clear that and clear his name, because we don't need another black man that's locked up in jail for years and years and years, away from their kids, away from their family, because of one bad move or one bad mistake. But I just wanted to give y'all update on scammers. Please, whatever you do, please look into it. Please look about who they are. Google. You can Google people. You can definitely Google people here in this world. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them. You can contact them. Like, literally, there's so many different ways of contacting people. There's different ways of looking people up. So if you don't feel comfortable enough to give a person your money, do your research. Do your research. I'm just telling you. Be aware of the scammers during this time, because people are really hurting for money and they're doing whatever they can. And also keep in mind that your fellow man may need. So you can let them know, hey, look, if you need money, I don't mind giving it to you. If you have it. You know what I'm saying? If you have it to give. Because there's people out here that got to do things for drastic measures just to feed their family, just to put food on the table. So if you see that there's a need, please fulfill that need for someone. Because you never know when it may be you that may need. So just understand this. Give during this time. If it's your time, if it's your love, if it's your money, whatever it is, just be cheerful giver. Give with all you can, because we need each other. We're all in this thing together. Okay? So, that was a word in itself, y'all. That was definitely a word in itself. I'm telling y'all, that was a word in itself. But let's get into it, y'all. So I wanted to talk to y'all about certain things that may be occurring in your life. Like, you may be feeling a little, like I talked about the last episode, I talked about being overwhelmed. I talked about, how to deal with being overwhelmed and how you get through that thing during this waiting period. Definitely being patient, listening to your heart. Don't take one day at a time. Definitely listen out for how he's directing you in your way, in your path, and don't overdo it during this time. But this time, I wanted to speak to y'all about security. I know the world speaks about, okay, we need to secure the bag, we need to secure the bag. But what if you needed to secure your heart? Okay? Because I definitely want to get into that, because we as individuals we get into relationships. Maybe I'm moving forward into like relationship type thing. We get into like these relationships or whatever, and we're like, you say to him, all I want you to do is just secure me, secure my heart, secure who I am in this relationship. But how can they do that when you can't do that for yourself? That's a question. Like I asked a question on Facebook last night, and I said, what would it take? How far would you go to protect your own heart? Like, what kind of drastic measures would you take to protect your soul, to protect your heart? Like, your soul is way deeper than your heart. But what drastic measures would you take to do that? Literally, think about it. Because we actually try to get into these things where we're trying to secure the bag, we're trying to have other individuals to secure our heart. But what are we doing as an individual to do that for ourselves? And I ask myself this question all the time, because when it got into a point where I was allowing others to control my atmosphere, I was allowing others to control my bag. Like, y'all know what the bag is. I was allowing other people to control my bag. I was allowing other people to control my atmosphere. Like, literally, I was losing my mind, because I, as an individual, was so much of a dependency on another person, not to gain confidence in any level, because I've always been a confident person. Even when I've been at my lowest point, I've always got up and was like, look, True, you got to get it together. You more than a conqueror. You a queen. It is what it is. But in some way and somehow, I let another person control who I was. If it was my boss, if it was a guy that I was dealing with, if it was my family. But I, as an individual, had to take drastic measures and say, hey, look, I don't want to feel this way. I'm no longer allowing other people to dictate my journey, to talk to me any type of way and then take from me. I had to learn a certain word in order for me to do what? We talked about it last episode. Gain control. It's all about gaining control. Not being a control freak, because we got people who are control freaks. Mind you, at a period of my time, people that know me, I have been a control freak. Definitely want to control people, want to tell them to do this, want to tell them to do that. But I had to step back and say, hey, Patricia, you need to take control of your life. You as an individual, you can't be trying to control everybody and what they're doing and how they're doing it because you see them in a better light and you see them doing this. You just have to show and improve. You as an individual have to be an example of what you want your atmosphere to look like. You have to be an example of what you want your people to look like, because you are who you are. You are who you are around. Period. So at the end of the day, you are the one who has a choice. You are the one who has the option to control the situation. And that's a true fact. Like, that is a true fact. So I ask whoever is listening tonight, what drastic measures are you going to take so that you can secure yourself in a situation? In this situation, this waiting period that we are in now, because everybody, like I stated, is in a waiting period. If we're waiting on COVID-19 to pass, if we're waiting on a cure for COVID-19, if we're waiting for our jobs to release us so that we can go back to the workplace, if we're waiting for funds to be released in our account because we have been waiting for Medicaid to do this because we have been on a waiting list, if we're waiting for that loan, that paycheck protection loan to come through, for them to order more money, to grant more money so that we can get that. We are all in a waiting period. We even waiting 6 longer times in line at Walmart, the grocery store, just to be served because we have to social distance. We are all in a waiting period. But what drastic measures are you going to take to secure your heart, to secure your position as far as who you are as an individual, to secure your happiness, to secure your peace, your joy? You, not the person next to you, not the person around you, not your family member, not your children, not your spouse. What drastic measures are going to take to secure yourself, to secure your heart, to get deeper and secure your soul? So here's a few tips that I'm going to give you. And I know I talked about last night with patience and taking one day at a time. But there's only one thing that I want to tell you, that how to secure your heart. And that is love on yourself. Whatever makes you feel over the top without any other individual that you can do for you. Find out what you like to do. Find out what makes you smile, not an actual human being. What do you do that makes you feel overjoyed, makes you feel rejoiced? Take your time out to love on yourself. Those are the drastic measures that you're going to take. What things are you going to do to get that love that you can feel secure for yourself and say, hey, I did this for me, not for anybody else. I did this for my heart. I did this for my soul. Do what you love to do. Secure your bag, honey. Secure your heart. Secure it. Secure it. Get those drastic measures. Write it down. Start to try different things. If you don't know what you love to do because you've been in so many different positions in your life, catering to others and serving others, that you have lost yourself in this journey. You have lost yourself and don't really know. So I want you to take a step back and say, hey, at this time while we're during this waiting period, things are slow. I'm going to take my time out to go through this measure to find out what I love about me. Find out what I love to do, what makes me feel great, makes me feel good. So that's a tip for you. Love on yourself and take those measures to find out what you love about yourself. Feed that heart, feed that soul. So that was a word. I pray that word got into you, got some things going, got your creative juices going, got your love nest going on or whatever. I just pray that you are moving forward. You just doing you. You are doing you. You are doing you. If you guys want to hear more about different things that's going on that you can do through COVID-19 and you need some tips or whatever, holla at me. You can email me at personalwithpurpose19p@gmail.com. If you want to be starting on the podcast, I'm definitely going to try to start setting up some interviews. I kind of, my mind kind of went left a little bit with doing it because I actually wanted to have a sit down with multiple individuals through this year of 2020, but we're going to switch it up. God still made a way for us to do virtual things. We still be able to communicate through Instagram and Facebook and things like that. So if you're wanting to know some tips about COVID-19, you wanted to know some tips about your purpose, moving forward in your purpose, ask some questions. I'll find that out and we can get some professionals. I got great people in my life that really, really God is aligning me with as far as fitness, as far as mental health, as far as purpose, as far as good eats, good foods, good business tips, everything, motivational speaking. God is allowing me to speak to individuals who are on the move. So if you would like to have something to be started and you have a question about it, we can definitely make it a episode. We can definitely do an episode with the both of us, because I just, I know people now that God is aligning me. I don't know everything, so God aligned me with people that do know. And I have people who have questions, and I'm able and willing to serve you and answer those questions for you. So definitely, if you have questions, don't be afraid. I mean, I don't get as much questions. I have people who do have questions randomly. They may call me on the phone, hey Tree, boo boo boo. But utilize the email because that gives a great way of organization, and it definitely allows me to go ahead and check that off so that I can go ahead and fulfill what you need. Definitely. So use that email, personalwithpurpose19p@gmail.com. Also, I'm on every social media handle except for Twitter and Snapchat. But the basic ones, Facebook and Instagram, and definitely YouTube. You can all catch me on Personal with Purpose on there as well. Make sure to follow me. Got some good information on those pages. I also have a self-love fan page also on Facebook as well. I just randomly send out quotes or things that are coming from my heart that kind of feeds the soul, kind of feeds your love vote. So definitely follow me on there. This episode, every episode is uploaded on all podcast platforms. So if you have a podcast app on your phone, you can find me at Patria, Patria Speaks on every podcast platform, as well as YouTube. Every episode is uploaded on there as well. So if you want to go back and check out other episodes, you can definitely do that as well. I'm not going to keep on holding y'all and telling y'all, but you got to get it out there and promote yourself. I encourage everybody to promote themselves, definitely. But I'm going to end this segment, y'all, because it's about that time. So be beautiful, be blessed, inside and out, and I love you. Mwah.